Jeremy, Kansans are invited to take time next week to remember and reflect on the Holocaust. The annual Kansas Holocaust Commemoration has a theme this year of home and belonging. Rabbi Sam Stern and Topeka attorney Harold Youngentob, who will give the keynote address, are both with us today. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for joining us here.
Thank you for having us.
Rabbi, let's start with you. This commemoration takes place every year. It's a statewide event. Why is this so special and so important?
Well, the Holocaust was a crime unique in scope and scale. And while it primarily impacted the Jewish community, there are, back in the 1940s, there are a lot of things that we can learn from it even here today in America. We can learn lessons about the descent from democratic governance into authoritarianism. We can learn about individual versus communal responsibility. And so it's really great that our state officials and school children and teachers from around Kansas come to Topeka every year to commemorate what happened in the Holocaust, so they can be the ones who carry forward the message that this kind of thing can never be allowed to happen again.
What will all be included in this year's service?
Well, the governor will sign her proclamation declaring it Holocaust Memorial Day. We will also feature candle lightings from dignitaries from around the state and lawmakers, and of course our keynote from Harold Youngentob.
Yes, and Harold, you have quite a story to share. What happened with your family that you want people to know?
I appreciate being here. Thank you for the opportunity to alert people that the story will be told on Tuesday, April 18th at 1 o'clock. And at that time, I'm honored to be the keynote speaker, at which time I'll speak to the fact that unfortunately this great generation that were fortunate enough to survive the Holocaust have now passed on. And it leaves to the children of the Holocaust survivor, of which I am one, to tell that story.
It was your mother and your uncle, correct?
My mother, Irene Youngentob, and my uncle, Louis Poses, who was here in Topeka, Kansas after he left Poland. He was saved from the Holocaust while, unfortunately, his parents, my grandparents, and his brother, my uncle, were brutally murdered by the Nazis in 1941. Fortunately, my mom and Louis Poses were able to get out of Poland through an uncle who lived here in Topeka, Kansas, Abe Poses. He worked with the then governor, Walter Huxman, to get visas when visas were almost impossible to get, because unfortunately there was anti-Semitism, and the United States didn't invite very many Eastern Jews to come over, and they were saved. And the trip that we took was a trip sponsored by my uncle Louis Poses, that brought 30 family members to Breslatov, which is in the eastern part of Poland. And we got to visit the site of where the family home was. And we got to visit the site where my mom's parents and Louis' parents were machine gunned and killed by the Nazis.
Well, this is obvious.
And this was an effort to obtain some closure and some understanding of what is really impossible to understand.
Well, it is quite a story, and it certainly is a reason why you know firsthand, your family, why this is something that we should all remember and pause and commemorate. At least once a year, if not more often. Thank you for sharing that. And if you would like to attend, the State of Kansas Holocaust Commemoration is 1 o'clock next Tuesday, April 18th, at the Downtown Ramada in Topeka. It is free, open to the public. If you cannot make it but would like to watch, they will have a live stream at the MCHE Kansas City YouTube channel. We'll get that link on WIBW.com. Rabbi Harold, thank you. And we look forward to hearing more from you and more of your story next week.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Still ahead today, we are also ready to celebrate diversity through storytelling. Hear how a Topeka organization is planning that next.